Trigger warning. Child loss and trauma. My 28M girlfriend, 25F, didn't tell me that she had kids and I'm really angry about it. I am 28M and my girlfriend Kat is 25F. We've been together for a little over 2 years. Our relationship has been pretty awesome. She really lights up my life and I adore her. Yesterday I was helping Kat move to her new house. Everything was normal until the bottom of the box that I was carrying up to her room fell through and it all ended up on the floor. Everything that was in the box was okay, except this small wooden box that split a little bit around the hinges for the lid. Because of the way that the little box split, a photo had slid out. I opened the lid so that I could put the photo back in. I wasn't trying to snoop at all, but I decided to look at some of the photos. It was a lot of family and pets and friends from different places and life stages. A memories type of thing. Then I came across a few photos of Kat in a hospital bed holding 2 newborn babies, followed by more pictures of the babies. I kind of froze and my stomach twisted. Kat walked into the room and saw me sitting on the floor with the baby pictures and she looked horrified. We didn't say anything for a few moments, and then she sat on the floor in front of me and asked if I had any questions about what I had just found. I asked her if these are her babies and she started crying while nodding yes. I felt myself get angry and I asked her why she would hide them from me. We've been together for over 2 years and we were starting to plan our future. I told her that I don't want to be a stepdad and she had told me that she didn't want to have children. At this point I was yelling. I've never yelled at her before, and she was just crying, not saying anything until she blurted out, "They're no more." I didn't have anything to say and I couldn't stand to look at her, so I left. I decided to call my parents, and I told them everything that I put in this post. My dad says that I need to talk to her and that I was rude and unempathetic in the way that I handled things, and my mom totally reamed me out for walking out on a good woman who has clearly gone through something traumatic enough that she never wanted to talk about it because I couldn't handle myself for 10 minutes to let her explain. My best friend thinks that I'm justified though. She's been trying to call me and sending me texts asking to meet with her so that she can explain everything, but I just feel betrayed and confused. I don't know where to go from here. Relevant comments. If you're done, you're done. That's fine. But it's kind of weird that you didn't stay to hear what she had to say so that you can make a more informed decision or talk through the issue, or not, with her. If my wife did something wrong, I would talk through it with her regardless of what the ultimate outcome was. OP. I love this woman so much, I just have so much running through my head. Comment. I totally get that. It's a huge part of her life you had no idea about. But is taking off and ignoring her really the way to deal with it? You said you love her, do you love her less now? Does her losing her children make her less in your eyes now? She may have very valid reasons for not telling you, but you won't know them because you won't talk to her. OP. No, I don't love her less. I just feel betrayed and confused and I hate seeing her so sad, but I just couldn't be near her. I don't know. Comment. The woman that you love and want to spend the rest of your life with lost 2 children, and you made it about yourself. That's a new level. OP. I never thought about it like that. Comment. How? How did you never think about it like that? She told you straight out that her children are no more. She's only 25, so they had to have Una before she was 23, so she lost 2 babies at an incredibly young age. Your selfishness was literally breathtaking. I felt like I got hit in the chest with a sledgehammer when I read that you walked out on her. Lord have mercy on that woman. I hope she finds someone with some compassion. OP. Because just like so many people have been saying, I've been too wrapped up in my own emotions to think about it any other way, but I see that now. Update. I'm not sure how many people will be interested in this update, but I figure I'll put it up. The discovery of the photos and my really shitty reaction all went down on Sunday. Today is Tuesday for anyone who's unclear about the timeline. Long story short. I really fucked up. On Monday night, shortly after having my ass handed to me by everybody in the comments and DMs, as well as my mom telling me that I'm not the son she raised, I decided to call Kat and asked her if we could talk about everything. She said yes, but that it's an in-person talk, so we made plans for me to go over to hers Tuesday, that is today, evening. I couldn't focus on anything at work, so I cut my day short and went to her place earlier in the day. It was a difficult conversation. She told me about how she ended up in an abusive relationship when she was just under 18. She talked about how this man had so much control over her that she could hardly even breathe and the vile things he would say and do to her. Eventually he got her pregnant by force and she wanted to abort, but he basically locked her in the basement until she was too far along to do anything about it. The twins were born and she knew that she needed to escape with both of them. She played happy family and did her best while she made arrangements and healed physically. Having twins gave her an excuse to have her mom come around to help with everything, including documenting and escaping. Everything was ready to go when the twins were 1 year old and Kat was 20. Basically, he figured it out at the very last second. Her children were unalived at the hands of their father, and he tried to unalive her too. She told me about the guilt she felt in so many ways, from wanting to abort them to begin with, having kids with the wrong person, not being able to get them out safely, and why she deserved to live when her babies didn't. She went through a ton of therapy and was eventually able to get to a good place and start living again, thriving honestly. She said that she didn't think she could love again, and she fell in love with me unexpectedly, so she never thought about how she would share this part of her past with a new partner. She felt it easier and safer to just never bring it up but apologize for not telling me sooner. I told her that she has nothing to apologize for and my initial reaction was unjustified. I should have stayed and talked to her. I shouldn't have raised my voice at her. Everything I did was wrong and that I am so sorry for not being a better partner and a better man. To address some of the comments in my original post, I never asked her if she had kids, I only asked if she wanted kids, to which she said no. She never lied, she just left out the horrible passing of her children, which I now understand. Thank you to everybody who was, rightfully, brutal and honest. I'm not sure where our relationship will go from here. I'll update in the future if there is any interest there. Update, a year and a half later. To recap, a few years before I met Kat, she had twins who passed away when they were 1. I found out because I came across some old photos. I reacted horribly, and she asked for time and space away from me. For over a month, I waited. I waited for her to speak to me again, hoping she could forgive me and we could move on together. Mid-December she called me and told me that she wanted to talk. I was ecstatic and raced over to her place, only stopping to get flowers on the way. When I arrived she let me in and I saw that she still had not finished unpacking. In fact, it looked like she never even started to. She noticed me looking around and told me that she's moving in with her brother who lives in another province, and that she doesn't want to be with me anymore. I begged and pleaded and told her that she meant everything to me and I would do anything to make things right, but she stayed quiet, only shaking her head before saying that she doesn't feel emotionally safe with me anymore. She told me that if I had reacted differently when I found out about her lost twins, then she would have been able to move past this with me, but that my reaction told her everything she needed to know. She said, "You made my traumas about you and your backwards feelings and reacted explosively over something that has nothing to do with you. How could I ever trust you to work through anything difficult?" Then she asked me to leave. I put the flowers on the counter and left. A week later she texted me to tell me she had a box of my things and I needed to come get them. When I arrived, the door was unlocked and I walked inside. The house was completely empty aside from a box with some of my clothes, pictures, trinkets and gifts, memories of us, and the flowers I'd brought her, wilted and dead with a note that read, "Lock the door when you leave." Fast forward a few days, it's Christmas Eve and I went over to my parents' place. We had a quiet evening and as per tradition, my siblings and I stayed the night. On Christmas morning I texted Kat to wish her a Merry Christmas, but the bubble turned green. I was blocked. Later that evening my mother left the room and called Kat to wish her a Merry Christmas. She adores her. I did tell my parents that we were broken up and she moved away, but I never actually told them any real details of the entire event. My mother came back in tears, seething with rage, and screamed at me to get the fuck out of her house. Kat told her everything. In excruciating detail. I was effectively disowned by my family with the exception of one brother. My life was falling apart faster than I could gather the pieces and I slipped into a deep depression. For months running on autopilot, I drank too much and smoked too much and let myself go. After a string of bad decisions, my brother who kept contact convinced me to go to therapy. It was hard but it helped a lot, and I soon started picking myself back up. A couple months ago I was scrolling socials and saw a post featuring Kat from a mutual of ours. They were on a group vacation and Kat had a new boyfriend. I decided to send our mutual, Anna, a DM asking about Kat, and I was met with a surprisingly friendly response of mild and vague info. She's doing well and thriving in BC. We continued to chat for a few days before we decided to meet for coffee. Anna and I have been seeing each other since, and recently made things official. I love her more than life itself and I plan on marrying her one day, but my heart still aches for how I hurt Kat. Edit. A few things have come up. 1. Anna does not know. The story Kat gave her was that she fell out of love with me, so she ended it, and I never corrected her. I assume it's because she doesn't want to tell people her story. 2. I told my parents that she had kids that passed away, how I found out by accident, and what my reaction was. I never gave them all the details that came from my second conversation with Kat. 3. As for being in love with Anna after only some months, when you know, you know. I did love Kat, I loved her very much, but not how I love Anna. Relevant comments. You're a terrible person. I'm glad your family had the good sense to disown you. And you should tell Anna what you said because she deserves to know how awful you are. The fact you haven't shows you haven't changed at all. If she knew what kind of person you are, she wouldn't want to be with you, and you're a piece of shit for denying her that autonomy. You are lying to her. Once Kat finds out she will tell her, and you will deserve the consequences. My heart weeps for Anna given how you treat people you're in love with. OP. The story about Kat and her twins isn't mine to share. She didn't tell me after 2 years in a relationship, never told any of her friends or extended family. It's basically a secret, and it's not my place to share it with anybody, including Anna. Kat could have told Anna what happened, but she chose not to. She's moving on in life. I don't see the point in bringing it up and opening it all up again. Comment. You need to leave Kat and Anna alone. It's very clear you're getting with Anna because she doesn't know your history with Kat, and she's an in for you to keep tabs on Kat. This is still you making it about yourself. You're manipulating Anna to get back into Kat's life. What the fuck is wrong with you? What good would blowing up Kat's social circle achieve other than to make yourself a stalker? Do you think Kat will be happy to see the man who continuously puts his bruised ego above her trauma? Your behavior is unhinged. None of this is innocent, and you know that. OP. Kat knows that Anna and I are together, it's not a secret. If she had a problem with it then she would have said something about it. Contrary to popular belief, I'm not with Anna to spy on Kat. Originally I reached out because I wanted to know if Kat was doing okay, but it grew into something more with Anna. I wasn't expecting it, and neither was she, but it happened. Believe it or not, I don't spend my days asking or wondering what Kat is up to because I've moved on.